Full of memory of loss, I guess. Eleanor's going to start off and maybe just say a few words about your first.
Okay, you guys have heard this before in Galway. In Virgil's book 4 of the Georgics, he talks about autogenesis of bees using the carcass of a dead calf. We're talking, and that's what death is. In order to have birth, you have to have death. But our pieces are about killing. Okay, a weather eye. The afternoon a dead calf drifted to our shore was not the first unexpected happening of the day. The calf, bloated under vellum, her brown boots fastened by reeds, lay with her head extended, her right eye set on an empty sky, fearful. But water is tender to the dead, and will return what it cannot own eventually. I make 2 calls. I tell them of the calf. They say, "You okay?" They say, "Check its tag." They say, "Wait." They say, "Do nothing till we're there." I step into the shallows, and water sensing life attempts to fill my boots. As I crouch, the dead calf lifts her head drunkenly. She fixes on my dogs, but they are good creatures. They sit and wait when told. She turns her frozen gaze to mine. She tilts her head that I may see the pink serrated edge of bone where her ear and tag were severed. She senses the buzzards I know are watching from their looped sky. There is savagery in an act that so brutally unnames the dead, that cuts away illness. Some days, exhausted by the sights daylight thrusts upon them, collapse early into the bony hours of dark. The day a dead calf came to our shore was one such day, with nothing to be done by us till sunrise, and at sunrise she was gone. Wind had changed, so water took her elsewhere. Earlier that day, when I had shrugged into Granny's old warm winter coat, her voice fell from one sleeve. It must have snagged there years ago. She said, "Keep a weather eye, my dear. The unusual is to be guarded against, always." This piece is called Yes, But Are We Enemies? Will they sack my life for lovely lies? Loot my child's crane sketch of blank walls, stopped clocks?
Clocks that bothered us from tea to madness, chipped filigree left on the tablecloth.
Tablecloth bundles, held with rowan sticks, the wayfarer's talisman or safeguard.
Safeguard the part of you that sings. No mute refusals, forge a melody from shock.
Shock and sheaf ears of grain for the guiltless famished. Air your song, bold against their wrath.
Wrath keeps us warm, keep it close like a trick. Our fingers stutter, confessing the cards.
Cards turned in spades, diamond hearts, clubs and suits and houses crushed beneath the creed of flocks.
Flocks will rise up, wings burning to digress. Home's a point for turning, held bright by loss. There's a map in the British Library that was produced by some British soldiers in about 1923, I think. They were mapping a bit of the Gold Coast in Africa. And they obviously got a bit bored because they couldn't be bothered to finish it, and they just inscribed a contour in the shape of an elephant. The elephant in the map. They walk for days, different maps arriving in their sleep. Each night they construct new names for the horizon. No one can remember who sees him first, whose dry tongue finds its memory and shouts, whose fingers move quickly to a whistle. One man thinks to shoot and lifts his gun, but his fellows wrestle him out of it, until they all stand and squint into the sun, at a small tail throwing cupfuls of dirt, and a thick hide, and their fingerprints. And nothing has ever seemed more composed than the swaying bulk of his behind. And no one considers that an error has been made. Later, there are those who will say it was wrong, or that they all dreamed after some shared excess of something that couldn't have been. Much better, others muttered, to have wondered at this than to claim they saw nothing at all. Left side of a locket. A brassy heart. I gave it under the icy, broken instant. I left her, fingertipping these once acute edges of love. What did I? A dull fairy tale she could tell. History reduces. A bright guess.
Right side of a locket, pinioned to the bow, a view of the sea's stretch, fathoms of aquamarine, instantly broken, a brassy heart, cold, pinched sea salt, eroded and numb, hope to save a brassy heart to a single solitary beat, our own inconsequence.
Thank you.